Have you ever stared at your screen and thought, why does AI coding feel like asking a genie for help, but the genie only kind of speaks your language and sometimes gives you a banana instead of a website? Yeah, that's vibe coding. It's that weird mix of exciting and totally frustrating where you type a prompt, wait for magic, and then spend the next hour fixing the magic. Today, I'm going to tell you why vibe coding feels like this, and more importantly, how it can actually be way better if we use the right tools, especially something called MCP servers. Don't worry, I'll explain everything in simple terms, no jargon overload. So let's be real, AI in programming is everywhere now. Some people absolutely love it and say it makes them code like superheroes. Others tried it, got stuck in chaos, and swore they're never touching AI again. Why such a huge difference? It's mostly because of something I like to call the prompt treadmill of hell. Sounds dramatic, but it's true. You write a prompt, AI gives you kind of wrong code, you explain again, it fixes one thing, breaks two others, and before you know it, 3 hours, 4 coffees, and still no working app. You're not coding anymore, you're babysitting a robot. The real problem with vibe coding is that AI doesn't actually know your project like you do. It's guessing based on patterns it learned from the internet. That means it can sound confident, even when it's totally wrong. It'll happily invent files that don't exist, functions that never worked, and libraries that nobody has ever used. That's why it feels unreliable, and no matter how good your prompt is, if the AI doesn't actually understand your tools, folders, or the vibe of your code base, it's like giving directions to someone who's never seen a map. Now, here comes the part almost no one talks about: Model Context Protocol, or MCP servers. Sounds nerdy, but it's actually pretty cool. Think of MCP as a translator and connector between AI and your real coding tools. Normally, AI is like a helpful friend who can talk about code but can't actually open your files or run your terminal. MCP changes that. It lets AI interact with your actual development environment, your files, your frameworks, your design tools, safely and in a structured way. So instead of guessing, the AI can check what's really there. And here's the crazy part: most developers aren't even using MCP yet. They're still just typing prompts and hoping for the best. It's like having Wi-Fi but coding like it's 1995. MCP servers act like bridges. They connect AI models to tools like code editors, design apps, frameworks, and even databases. This means AI doesn't hallucinate random code as much because now it can see real files, real data, and real project structure. Let me give you an example. There's this thing called the Svelte MCP server. Svelte is a web framework that helps you build fast websites. When you connect AI to the Svelte MCP server, it can create components that actually follow Svelte's rules, structure, and style. Instead of messy, half-working code, you get cleaner and more reliable code. It's like the difference between someone guessing how to bake a cake and someone actually reading the recipe while baking it with you. Another cool example is the Figma MCP server. If you've never used Figma, it's a design tool for UI and app layouts. Designers make pretty screens there, and developers usually have to turn those into code manually. But with Figma MCP, AI can look at the design and turn it into code automatically, following the exact layout, spacing, and colors. So instead of hallucinating a random button style, it uses the real design. Less guessing, more doing. This is where AI coding stops being a chaotic vibe session and starts becoming a real workflow. When AI has context, like your files, your designs, your frameworks, it stops making up nonsense and starts acting like a proper assistant. Fewer errors, fewer hallucinations, and way less time wasted. So, does that mean AI coding doesn't suck anymore? Well, it still depends on how you use it. If you're still just typing long prompts and praying for useful code, you'll stay stuck in the prompt treadmill. But if you give AI tools like MCP, you're basically giving it glasses so it can actually see your project. It becomes helpful, faster, and more consistent. At the end of the day, AI isn't here to replace you. It's here to work with you. And like any teammate, it needs the right access to actually help. Using MCP servers is like giving your AI a keycard to your workspace instead of leaving it outside, guessing what's happening inside. So next time you feel like vibe coding is a mess, remember, AI coding doesn't have to suck. You just need to give it the right context. All right, quick recap before we wrap up. Vibe coding feels broken because AI guesses too much and doesn't understand your project. MCP servers fix that by connecting AI directly to your real tools and files. Framework connectors like Svelte MCP and design-to-code systems like Figma MCP make AI more reliable and way less annoying. So don't give up on AI coding yet. Use the right tools, give it context, and you'll spend less time fixing and more time building cool stuff. Now go try it, and who knows, you might actually start enjoying coding with AI again.